This is weird. This is just weird. I need to change. This is better. Let's go.
Get that jersey off. It's a Bruins video.
My. Fine. What's going on, everyone? It's John here from Hot Take Hockey, and today I am doing the Boston Bruins opening night lineup prediction for the 2019-2020 season. So, of course, if you are here, do all that good stuff. Subscribe to the channel. We got a lot of Bruins fans on this channel. We got a lot of Leaf fans on this channel. Wanted to have a little fun with it. So, thank you for coming, and thank you for watching. Let's get right into my predictions. So, to get into our forward group, Brad Marchand, Bergeron, Pasternak. That's going to be your top line, no question. That was the top line that's been dominant. Yes, in the playoffs, for a little part of it, they were invisible. And I think it did show that the Bruins did have a little bit of depth that stepped up. But I do think that, and it's obvious, that if the Bruins want to win another cup with this core, that top line needs to be dominant and consistent throughout the whole playoffs. Jake DeBrusk, David Krejci, and Coleman. Carson Coleman, he was in and out of the team in the playoffs, and I think he provides more speed to that line, but I do think Bruins fans look at the perspective of Krejci needs another winger, and Krejci had a very good year. And DeBrusk in the playoffs, the concussion, I just think Krejci needs a better winger, in my opinion, but nothing's going to happen unless, if you look down, that back's contract is traded. And I'm going to talk about it when I go to the defense, and obviously I talked about in the past, go check out that other video, I talked about the Bruins cap issues. But you look at the third line, Sean Kuraly, Charlie Coyle, and Heinen. I think Kuraly could center that fourth line, but I think we saw him on the third line left wing. He can play the left wing well. He's a guy that I would think will even progress even more this upcoming year, getting even more experience with Charlie Coyle and Heinen. Heinen just fresh off a new extension, and then Anders Bjork, Forsbacka Karlsson, and Brent Ritchie, who you just signed. So I like that line. Obviously, maybe if you have Chris Wagner there, that line in general has more physicality over a guy like Anders Bjork, and maybe if Kuraly's centering that fourth line. But I think you need the younger players, and I think the Bruins, they might have made a mistake, obviously moving on from Donato. I mean, Charlie Coyle had so much success in the playoffs, so it wasn't like a big loss. You were still getting another great piece back. But I think the Bruins want to give an opportunity to the younger players. And I think that's going to be an Anders Bjork this year. That's going to be a Forsbacka Karlsson. That's going to be a Carson Coleman possibly in a full year. So I like where the Bruins are going. Obviously, certain players are getting older. Patrice Bergeron and Zdeno Chara. Obviously, Chara, I think this might be his last year. And then your other forward would be Nordstrom. I think Backes, you got to try to do something, whether it's attach a pick or attach a prospect. I think you got to do something if you want to compete at the highest level you can for this upcoming year. Let's look at the defense. So obviously with McAvoy, as I make this video, still needing to be signed. Same thing with Carlo. I think John Moore or Kevin Miller need to be traded. One of those two contracts. Obviously John Moore is going to be tough because he has term left, and at most he's a fifth defenseman. So at $2.5 million for 4 years, I just don't think teams are going to bite on that unless you give something else to persuade them in doing so. But Chara and McAvoy in your top pair, Krug and Carlo is a very, very solid top four. And then Matt Grzelcyk, super underrated, with Connor Clifton, who had a very good playoff when he was inserted into the lineup. And we don't know if that would have happened if Kevin Miller wasn't injured. Two goaltenders, obviously I love that tandem of Tuukka Rask and Yaroslav Halak. Halak provides that very good 1B situation. I don't think Halak's a starter anymore, but he's as close to a starter as there is a lot of backups. So I think Halak, if Rask is inconsistent, which honestly what I saw from the playoffs, he was unbelievable. And Bruins fans gave Rask heck, and I didn't know why. Rask played on his head throughout the playoffs. So I love that tandem. I think it's very, very solid. So thank you. Let me know what you think about my Bruins lineup. Do you think it's more likely for one of John Moore or Kevin Miller to be traded, or do you think the Bruins are going to go all out and get that $6 million cap relief for this last year for David Backes? Let me know. Subscribe if you're new. Drop a like. Every like does count. This was John from Hot Take Hockey. Have a good one. Peace out.